Yo guys, what is up? Today I'm gonna bring you the team builder for the week 1 of the GPC. It's versus the Goose Golducks, also known as the coach of the Goose Golducks is also known as Pokemon Cloud9, and the coach goes by the name of James. He is so far the only guy in the GPC that has not uploaded a video before joining the GPC. So yeah, be there for his first video versus me. And we will together check out how this man becomes a celebrity in the YouTube community. But yeah, quickly gonna go into the team builder. They usually tend to take very long, so hopefully I'm gonna do them a little bit shorter this time around. But still gonna cover everything I want to cover. He has a Manaphy, he has a Uxie, he has a Roserade, Mega Gardevoir, Crocodile, Hypnotops, Skuntank, Rodigan, Doublade, Rotom, Aurorus, and a Pupitar. Hopefully everything will be on the screen. Not sure how I'm gonna do this just yet, but beforehand, he has a few threats. Let's see everything. I've got my notes up. He has a few threats, mainly being Roserade is always very annoying to deal with because I'm never sure what it's gonna do. It can be Scarf, it can be defense, can be offensive, can pack something like Stun Spore or Sleep Powder. Spike, Stack, I don't know man, it can do everything. Usually I'm just like expecting either a Natural Cure defensive one or a more offensive one with Technician. So yeah, I guess I'm expecting those. Although the Sleep Powder and the Stun Spore are something I'm definitely fearing from the Roserade. So I'm not sure if he's gonna pack those, but I might have to play around that a little bit and see if he carries those on the team. If he ends up bringing a Roserade, which I do expect him to bring. Manaphy, he has Manaphy. Kind of annoying that I have to kill Manaphy. I don't think it's the best mon for my team, but I do think he's gonna bring it just to spite me. If he's bringing it, he's gonna be running some kind of offensive set, I'm assuming, since I do have Vaporeon and a defensive one with Scald is not gonna cut it versus Vaporeon. So I'm gonna expect him to run a Tail Glove set if anything. At least not the defensive set. Maybe he's like a U-turn set. He could definitely be that, but yeah, we'll see. Uxie is a little bit annoying. Uxie can do a lot of stuff. I do think Uxie is gonna come, since I do have a few threats on my team and Uxie can deal with him decently well, especially if he prepares the way that I fear him to prepare. And that's basically with the Tangaberry for Scolipede, and also with the T-Wave and with the Psychic and Stealth Rocks, or maybe even Calm Mind and Substitute, something like that can be scary too, so do have to keep that in mind. Mega Gardevoir is always a threat. It lacks switch-ins. I do have Bronzing on my team, so it's somewhat of a switch-in. But it's still always a problem, Mega Gardevoir, so I have to be wary of that. But other than that, I think Mega Gardevoir can be dealt with, since I do have a lot of offense that can deal with it. Although it can be a check to something like Latias on my team, and yeah, it might even be defensive for all I know. Crocodile is always a mon I have trouble dealing with for some reason. I mean, it can do so many offensive things. It can be Stealth Rock, it can be Taunt, it can be Scarf or Bandit. It can be Assault Vest for all I know. I don't think that's gonna be a thing though, but yeah, I think Crocodile is gonna be annoying. I don't think he's gonna bring it, but that's mainly because he has a Skuntank, and I think Skuntank does perform the role of Pursuit Trapping better. So as weird as that sounds, Skuntank, I'm not a fan of Skuntank, so. But I do think that's gonna perform better, mainly because it also has the defog, which he kind of lacks in his team. So yeah. Hypnotop is absolutely trash. There's literally no reason for him to bring it, so yeah, he's not gonna bring Hypnotop. Honestly, Hypnotop is not that good in the league format. I don't know what people think it is. There's never a situation where it's gonna be amazing on the thing, and everyone always uses it defensively. So maybe I'm gonna see an offensive Hypnotop. I mean, that could potentially be something because I'm not expecting it. I don't think he's gonna bring it, since I do have like Latios and sets to deal with it really well. But yeah, Skuntank, like I said, I do expect him to bring it, mainly because of the Pursuit Trapping and also for the defog capabilities. It could be a special one. That's something I'm considering, since I do have like Gourgeist and shit, which it kind of deals with better if he is special. Rodigan, I don't know if I should expect Rodigan. I'm kind of fearing it. It's like the 7th man on the team that he could definitely bring. Because Rodigan is really annoying with the defensive Rocky Helmet set and the Glare and the Dragon Tail. So that's definitely a set I'm kind of expecting him to bring, but we'll see if he actually ends up bringing it, or if he ends up going with Manaphy over that slot. And that's basically the only doubt I have on his team. Doublade, I definitely expect Doublade, since Doublade is very bulky. It can actually kind of win for me if I don't play it correctly. I do think I have a lot of checks on my team, so I don't think it's going to be the most powerful and amazing monk, but yeah, it can definitely put in the work, and it definitely helps him check a lot of my well, standard sets, I guess. I mean, it might not bring, now to look at it, I mean, he might not bring it, but since I do have like super effective damage on almost anything on the team to hit it with, but it's that bulky and it can set up and it can be a win condition in the end, so yeah, I'm kind of expecting it to be a thing. Rotom is annoying since it blocks my Scolipede. At least my Scolipede is 3 attack sword stance, and it blocks all of the moves. So if it's defensive, then it's gonna be annoying. If it's something else, then I think I can deal with it. It would be annoying if it's like Scarf from a Latios, since I don't speed it anymore. But we'll see if Rotom ends up being brought to the game. He might, since if he fears Vaporeon, then he might definitely bring it. But other than that, then I don't think it's gonna be a thing. Auroras, I do not expect Auroras since I have a Bronzong and it really cannot touch Bronzong for the life of it. So that's why I don't expect Auroras to be brought to the game, but if he does, then it could be annoying since it's decently bulky and I don't have the coverage on all of my mounts to deal with it since I'm not expecting it, so yeah. Pupitar is the meme pick. It can put in the work, honestly, but I highly doubt he's gonna bring it to the game. So that's basically on all of his team, and I'm gonna quickly show you my team and how I think I prepared for everything. I'm gonna quickly go over my team first. The way I built it is I looked at this team and I figured that Scolipede was gonna put in the work. My Scolipede is Sword Stance, Earthquake, Mega Horn, Poison Jab. I was debating between a Life Orb set or a Focus Sash set. Focus Sash with Sword Stance, of course, or a Life Orb set without Sword Stance. I mean, Sword Stance could have been the last move, but I ended up going with Expert Belt. I felt that's the safest, since he does have a few ways to revenge kill me if I am the Life Orb set, or if I am the Focus Sash set, and I figured that I would go with support Latias, and I mean support screens, and it's not Latias actually since it's Bronzong, but I'll come down to that in a bit. Aerodactyl is Aerial Ace, Crunch, Roost, Substitute Aerodactyl. Aerial Ace and Crunch is there to hit all of his team for good damage. Also the Crunch is there to weaken the switches or the checks to Scolipede, since something like a Tangaberry Yuxi is definitely a good check to Scolipede. And let's see what else. Hippotop can definitely be a check to Scolipede. I don't think it can deal too much damage to me unless it carries like the Stone Edge, but Manaphy is able to live the hits from Scolipede decently well, unless I get the SD up and he is an offensive variant, then he just drops. But if he's defensive for some reason, then I don't 2-hit KO. I do only 2-hit KO him with the +2 Mega Horn or Poison Jab, so yeah. I have to be a little bit on the lookout for that. The Roserade is not a problem for Scolipede, neither is Gardevoir. Crocodile, if it's defensive or if he's Tangaberry, it can be a problem, but do not expect it to be. Skuntank, I do have EQ for Skuntank. He can Fire Blast me, I guess, if he's like Superberry, but not really expecting it. Dirtigun is a little bit of a problem. Dirtigun gets the bulk and it gets the Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin, so I don't think I can freely KO it or freely attack it unless I know what kind of set he is, or unless I know what kind of set he is, or unless he is weakened to the point where an EQ just picks him up. Where it doesn't matter what set he is. Doublade can be a check because Doublade is bulky enough to live EQs and shit, but I do have ways to deal with Doublade. Rotom, like I said, it can take a hit, but it's not bulky at all. Auroras doesn't deal with Scolipede, and Pupitar doesn't deal with Scolipede either. Aerodactyl is there to just damage the Dirtigun for the damage that it has. Also for the Roserade to KO because Roserade is a problem. Gardevoir, I can pick off Gardevoir if I damage it a little bit, which I can do with my team. Hypnotop, like I said, it's not gonna be a thing, but if it is, then I can still do the aerial ace damage and shit. I can weaken Skuntank if necessary, I can weaken Doublade if necessary because Crunch. Same goes for Rotom, I can weaken that if necessary. The speed, I'm not really sure where the speed is for. I will post on the screen where the speed is for because I built the half of the team is built over a week ago, the other half is built like today, so I remember the last half of the team a little bit better than the first two. But yeah, I will leave a link, I will leave like something on the screen to show where it is for and shit. Next is Clefable. Clefable is there mainly as the switch into a Crocodile. Like I said, I'm not sure if he's gonna bring it since I do think that Scolipede is the better or the more superior option. But I do kind of fear it still, and I think that Clefable can be some use in that role. If it doesn't bring Crocodile, I can definitely use it because it is bulky enough to take hits from everything else, basically. I'm Magigord. I was gonna go unaware for Manaphy, but I'm not running Heal Ball anyway, so it's not gonna be that big of a deal, I guess. I don't know. I'm running Moonblast, Softball, T-Wave, and Knockoff. Knockoff is there mainly for the Doublade. T-Wave is there to annoy everything on his team, and T-Wave his switch-ins and shit. Moonblast for the damage, and for the super effective damage and something like that, Crocodile, or just to weaken, put something in a range to as to where my Scolipede or Erik can like pick them off, for example. And Softball is for longevity reasons. I'm lefty since I don't think I need to be a poison barrier or anything for example, the Druddigon if he runs the Gunk Shot, but if he does, I do speed creep the expected. Well, wait, what do I speed creep? My Gorgas is built to speed creep a Druddigon, speed creeping my Clefable, and Clefable is built to speed creep something else. Not sure actually what I'm. This was meant to speed creep something. Maybe it's like speed creep something on my team. Yeah, I think it was to speed creep a Vaporeon on my team in case you wanted to speed creep that with Druddigon. So yeah, that's why the Clefable. That's the Gorgeist. Basically, Gorgeist is Adamant with the Cobra Berry. Adamant, Shadow Sneak, Seed Bomb. Shadow Sneak is to put everything in a range of my attacks from Scolipede or Aerodactyl. Something like Gardevoir can be revenge killed. Does like 60 to 70%. Or can be put in range of the, for example, the Aerodactyl. Seed Bomb does a lot of damage to Crocodile, can also burn it if I opt to go for that move. Against Skuntank I can burn it, I can go for the Will-O-Wisp, I think that's my best move and the only move actually, but yeah. Druddigon can burn it, Doublade can burn it, Rotom can Shadow Sneak it, does a lot of damage unless he's very defensive and can burn me and shit. Aurorus I do not really fear, but if he does bring Aurorus then I don't think I can stay in because he's probably gonna outspeed me. Anything else against Manaphy? It is kind of a check to Manaphy since the Seed Bomb does a lot of damage to Manaphy. It's actually does around 50% to a defensive Manaphy, but like I said, he's probably going to be an offensive one. So I can lift the Shadow Ball or Ice Beam if he opts to go for that move, unless he's like Tail Growth, but I don't think I can lift him anymore then. I do have the Frisk ability. Hopefully I will remember this in the match because Frisk is definitely a useful ability to use against my opponent. Bronzong is Stealth Rock, Reflect, Light Screen and Explosion. Reflect and Light Screen for the Scolipede, Stealth Rock to, well, Stealth Rocks is pretty obvious why Stealth Rocks would be a thing. And Explosion just to get a free switch into Scolipede. The only thing that really blocks this, well, two things that block this, both of his ghost types, but the only thing I'm really fearing that blocks this is Doublade, since Doublade can kind of switch in on this and set up and shit. But I do think the rest of my team is basically Clefable was for Doublade. Max speed Doublade, I would speed it with Clefable. But I do think that the rest of my team can deal with Doublades and deal with Rotom decently well. So yeah, that's basically the Bronzong set. Very standard actually, it's especially defensive. I guess I'm gonna go with this. It's very specially defensive since I do want this Roars and a Gardevoir switching if necessary. I do not have the Cassie Berry, I think is the one for the Ghost. Cassie, yeah, Cassie Berry. I am not Cassie Berry because Light Fly is more important, but it would have given me a better switch into Gardevoir in case he wants to go for the Shadow Ball, since it is kind of a spammable move against my team. Especially with the Hyper Voice, since my only resist is kind of Liepard, so Hyper Voice and Shadow Ball definitely do the damage in the team that it needs to do. Last but not least, it is a Healing Wish. Life for Latias. I'm having Healing Wish because I do want to have Scolipede, for example, back to full if I do get status by, for example, Druddigon, or I do get damaged by, for example, the Uxie. I don't know, man. It can do anything, but I do want Healing Wish to feel a little bit more safe. Also, this has the Shadow Ball and Draco Meteor and the Calm Mind, because with the Calm Mind I can do a massive damage to his team. The only thing that I'm really fearing is kind of Scarf Crocodile or Scarf Skuntank. I am Life Orb, so I'm not Cobra Berry. I changed it last minute, kind of. I mean, this was not the last minute change. I mean, I changed it. It was the last change I made before doing this team builder video, but it is a change that I made with my brains and not like a very rushed decision. That's mainly because I do not expect Crocodile, of course. So, but yeah, Life Orbed, because Life Orb does the damage that I need to do. I also Gardevoir is usually a switch into a Latios, but with the Calm Minds and with the Shadow Ball, I don't think it can be the best check. So yeah, also for the Uxie, it does a lot of damage, so I want that. Roserite, I guess I could have used Psyshock for Roserite, but I didn't have the space on my Latias to put that move in there, and I do think I can scare it out regardless. Also, Bronzong is there for Roserite as well, by the way, as a switch in. So Bronzong, do not want to let it die too early, but depending on the matchup, I might have to. But I do think my offense can beat his offense, so yeah, that's why I have my suicide defensive mon-ish. But yeah, Latios is kind of standard-ish. It does have Healing Wish over like a Goose, which would be expected. But yeah, that's basically the whole Latias set. Maybe a Roost would be the better option, but I do feel very safe going this route. Latias puts a lot of pressure on his team. The only thing that really, well, I mean, even like a Rotom, I can just set up on it unless he's like Trick Scarf. Menifee, this Latios is like a Menifee check. With the Calm Mind and Draco, I can deal with an offensive variant of Menifee more easily. At least I can deal with it very easily, actually. Which I wouldn't have done with anything else in my team, really, since I'm not an aware of Fable. Well, Gorgeist, I guess, but yeah, depending on what he goes for, I think Latios might be my initial switch in. We'll see how that goes, I'm not sure yet. Basically, the idea of the team is very standard. Get Scolipede in and sweep with Scolipede, and just the rest of the team is there to damage his team to the point where I can sweep with Scolipede. Mainly the notes on his team, he doesn't really have a Scarf that can outspeed my Scolipede, so he doesn't have the best revenge killing way of dealing with Scolipede. So if I get a Sword Sensitive, I do think it can be game over very quickly. Anything else I want to say about his team? He's pretty weak to flying, I guess, for the Aerodactyl, so I can definitely see him having a lack of switch into it and just going for the crunch and killing his checks to the flying moves, being Doublet and Rotom mainly. I guess Auroras, but like I said, he's not going to bring Auroras. A fast taunt could screw him over, that's one of my notes, since he does have Uxie, he does have Menifee, which Taunt usually does well against. I opted to go for Substitute instead, since I do want to have, well, mainly because Substitute, I think I can pressure out his team a lot by having the Aerodactyl and by having the flying move and the dog move. So I do think I can force switches and get a safe Substitute that way. Let's see, Mega Gardevoir can be a Cleric, so I have to be a little bit wary of that if he wants to be a Cleric or defensive Gardevoir. And yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. So let me know what you think of the preparation, if you think that the preparation is on point, or if you think that I missed something completely, or if you think that I am gonna lose because of one fatal mistake which I missed out on. If you think I did well, let me know as well, of course, because I like compliments, so yeah. But yeah, to summarize it up, the team I'm expecting him to bring is Skuntank, Doublade, Roserade, Gardevoir, Uxie, and Menifee. Menifee for trade with Radigan, I guess. But yeah, let me know how this goes and if you think that I can take the #1 spot from week 1 on. And yeah, support the game Uzair and see you in the next video.